This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned, my friend's going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
This episode of Still Toking With is brought to you by the Dorkening Podcast Network. Learn more about this episode and more shows on our network by visiting thedorkening.com.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants,
Quoting video games that don't have dialogues,
shabibans,
tasty news,
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts.
or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Reductopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we?
We sure do. So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
Like me.
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Dorkening and Inebriar podcast networks, with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or any podcast player cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all things that made growing up awesome.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
And here we are. We're now live for another episode of Still Toking With. We got a full house tonight. And, of course, every single show is brought to you by Benjamin Bartlett from Still Toking With. Token Dead.
You just totally fucking threw me off, man. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
And
We're
Jeff.
here with, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Just introducing everybody. We have Jeff as well, the two gentlemen from Token Dead.
What's going on out there?
And
Totally fucked me up.
the guest of the hour, Loren Molloy. Hello.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Happy horrors.
Hey, and another very special guest, Angel from That Strange Show.
What up? What up?
This is going to be a fun show. Ton of people watching, so I want to let you know that if you have any questions, I'm keeping an eye on, we got this going on a couple different Facebooks, a couple different YouTubes. Any questions, throw them in the chat, and I'll make sure we get to it. And with that, I'll throw it over to Ben.
Well, hello. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Yeah, Leo totally screwed me up. I'm sorry. I'm like way off my game. I had all this shit in my head. Now it's gone. But yeah, thanks for joining us. And as Leo said, we're blessed to have the very talented Loren Molloy with us tonight. Welcome.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait to talk with you guys. You're always a blast.
We've been talking for the past half hour backstage, honey.
That's true. Time flies when you're having fun, though, isn't it?
Right. I mean, show's over. Sorry, guys. See you later.
Bye.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's Angel said. That's a wrap.
You gotta love Angel.
That's a wrap.
Well, why don't we do this, Lauren? Why don't you introduce everybody to you're a local filmmaker? Where are you from? What are you working on?
Thank you, Leo.
Sure, no problem. I'm actually a filmmaker from Long Island, New York. I just started last year with my first feature film, Yield, the horror movie. It's actually loosely based on an experience I had in Florida in Ocala National Forest. It's based on a family of cannibals that live within the forest that use the tourists as meat and their food. So they use the entire forest as a cat and mouse labyrinth until their meat gets caught, tired, or killed, and then, devours them. The first couple that goes in, it's pretty quick in the beginning. They get annihilated by some of the cannibal clan called Carnigo. And then after that, the next couple goes, wait a minute, our friends have disappeared. We're going to go get them. And you get to see what happens then and see who wins in the end. And I actually play one of the characters, Betsy Carnigo, because I just can't help myself. I also am an author, so I've written 7 books. I have my 8th I'm working on right now as well, called The Queen of Hearts, which is about a vigilante serial killer woman who's a little tired of the way things are and decides to massacre appropriately. So I'm working on that as well.
Nice. I like the way she said that. Massacre appropriately. Remember that, folks. Remember that. If you're going to massacre somebody, do it appropriately.
I mean, let the punishment fit the crime. I mean, let's be real here.
That's true. That's true. So, make sure you bash their heads in with a rock, or, better yet, just cut their junk off and just have fun with it,
Well, yeah, you gotta torture them for a bit first before you cut anything off,
Oh, true.
So where is Yield at? Is it out yet? Is it almost done?
Actually, I'm in the editing process now. I'm also editing it myself, and it's going really good. I'm excited. I actually love the editing process. I wasn't sure because I've edited some stuff previously, but it's kind of incredible to be able to hear all the behind the scenes, watch all the outtakes, and then build it myself. So right now, I'm still editing it. I'm going to have it out in the spring on DVD and Blu-ray, and then after a few months of that, I'm going to start having it on streaming channels. Plus, I'm going to be selling it at all my cons.
Oh, yeah. I definitely can't wait for it to come out because first of all, I want to see it because I think you're an amazing writer, actress, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We'll get into all that later. But from what I understand, there's a lot of Easter eggs, as you call them.
Yes.
In this.
Yes.
So kind of excited to see some of those Easter eggs.
Gee, I wonder what one of those Easter eggs could be. That's right. The Toking Dead comic that Betsy Carnigo is reading while she's waiting for her prey to be foolish enough to wander by or get caught and snared. So you'll see a bunch of little scenes where I'm reading it in my little blue plaid dress.
I love it. When you sent us that picture, I shared it to Jeff immediately. I'm like, look at this, and he's like, who's that? What's going on? And I'm like, that's Loren Molloy. I told you about her. I met her at ScareCon. Blah 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 blah.
I'm slow when it comes to connecting dots.
Yeah. So just real quick, just keeping up on the comments here. Angela Bergeron says She Devil herself is my favorite. William Pace says, why are we looking at Ben when Lauren's here?
Right?
I mean,
I just don't have what it takes to keep the interest.
That's why I wore this outfit. It's because of the necklace we're saying, right? Of course, that's what we're saying. It's the necklace.
Exactly because of it.
We got Steven from Super Retro Throwback Reviews, Tracy Parkhurst, and RW as well. A bunch of people in the chat room. So if you have questions, especially, local filmmakers, how to get started, anything like that, certainly post them in the chat room and we'll make sure we get to it. You mentioned editing. So I if you don't know, I did a little documentary myself and it was shown at a couple cons, but I love the editing process except for when it crashed. What are you using? What makes you love the editing process? What are you working with?
So, I think being a creator, you need to be a little controlling to make sure the vision comes out the way you want. So directing it, producing it, making sure the script was the way I wanted it, all the characters, and then the editing process gives me the ability to the best of my capability at the moment, to make it the visual representation of what I saw in my head, where if I gave it to somebody else, they might give me something back and I'd be like, oh, good Lord, no, wait a minute, this was months, and no. Because we each have a very singular picture in our heads. And, if somebody else handles it, it's going to be different just for the sheer fact of a different person handling it. Yeah. And I use DaVinci Resolve. I love the program. There are little moments where I'm still learning some stuff. So, the copy and paste things, other people from outside might all of a sudden hear me curse very, very loudly. But then I get control.
Shit, that wasn't supposed to be there.
Or where the hell did all of that go? I was supposed to paste right there. Or, when you're trying to match up the audio to the visual and all of a sudden it's a Japanese anime. So it's like,
oh, yeah.
Hi.
Right.
Oh my god, no! Because people taking breaths, or they're going or they're just, and you can't have that in the middle of sentences. So all of a sudden you start splicing that stuff, and you're like, oh my god, all of them are now doing,
Or actually, your frame rate's off, and it like gradually goes out of sync. That's the most annoying thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh
The
my
frame rate sync issues are
I
nightmare.
did. There's an easy fix for that though. Push all your media.
Yeah,
through,
have somebody else do it. Right?
Push all your media through Handbrake first, and set it to constant frame rate. Or I believe that's it. So you do that to all your media first, and now eliminate that drifting sync effect.
Oh, nice.
And for all you people that didn't understand that, basically it's cut the wheel to the left, yank the e-brake.
Yeah.
Freaking A, yeah.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Flip a bitch and just get through it, basically.
Pop it.
Punch it.
Chinese fire drill. Just everybody get out, run around, get back in, and drive off really fast. Yes. No, I never did that in my life. What are we talking about? But I really like the editing process as well because of all the little different nuances I can change and fix and do. And then it's my creation. So when it's all done, although I know there's always going to be some hater out there that are like, I could do it better, and has never made anything in their life, because we all have heard those people.
Yeah.
If you have haters.
It's first film, so it's going to be everything it can be. And then I'm only going to get better from there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. But I was going to say, if you have haters, and this goes for anybody in any industry, if you have haters, you're doing it right.
Oh, yeah.
It's that simple. You're doing it right.
So speaking of creating, I had a question. How is shooting the film and all that kind of stuff, like getting everybody together on set, and what kind of different locations did you visit to get what you wanted done?
Well, in some ways it was quite difficult at first, because to get everybody organized and in the spot and what needs to be done and get all the energy out to be like, I'm capable of doing this and you just got to trust me, is always hard with new people.
Yeah.
I lucked out that I had so many incredible people that knew me ahead of time that were like, oh, we know this bitch, she got this shit. But one of the problems that I had were things like, the unexpected moments where, you're climbing up a mountain day after day after day going, we just need to go 5 miles and then we'll get to the location. Then you can start filming there, while you're also still worrying about getting everybody there on time. Oh, a lot of people like to sleep in, but you still need to be up at like 5.
Yeah.
Even if you're going to bed at like 2,
Yeah.
I don't think I slept at all. Maybe a few, while I was still planning stuff. But we filmed in New Jersey, and then I filmed on Long Island as well. So we spent a very strenuous 4 days at Stokes National Forest in New Jersey. And everybody was kind of concerned that they might yell at us or something. And I was like, don't worry about it. I got it. I looked at them. I did the head nod. I was like, what's up? They were like, what's up? We moved on because they looked at me and realized I'm not messing with this chick. So, but
She will throw a hurting on you.
I'll get that Sicilian stare going, and then I'll go off a bit.
Right?
Strangely, one of the weirdest moments was walking around covered in blood, carrying weapons, and having nobody seem even like the slightest bit concerned. They were like, it's that bitch. I don't know her, but it's fine. Let's just keep walking. But not like in fear, but like, hello.
You good? Like you are.
Like, I know I'm kind of pretty and stuff, but at the same time, there's a bunch of people with me. We're all covered in blood.
Yeah.
See, now in Boston, you would have just been normal.
I think a lot of places now, anywhere I walk around with like some weapon and covered in blood, people are like, that's her normal level of humanity. Just leave her. She's fun. It's cool.
Right?
And I filmed on Long Island, and we actually did several different forests all over Long Island where we wanted to make sure that it kept looking like the forest was changing. And if you only film at one location, it's almost impossible to make that feel like that. So, they're supposed to be walking on a road, and then all of a sudden, how the fuck did we get on a trail? Well, if the road and the trail looks exactly the same as the next 20 feet, how the heck did they use the forest and change it up with all the levers and pulleys and etc.? So there were a lot of days where it was like me and 2 people standing in a forest and being like, all right, the light's going to change any second. And then we got 5 seconds. Don't be in the light. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
I was definitely exhausted by the time we're done.
Right.
But it was fun, right?
Oh my God, I loved it. I will be doing it for the rest of my life. I can't wait.
Awesome.
So your next movie is with the Toking Dead.
Oh, yes, please. Oh yes, please. I'm ready to kill some zombies and kick some ass, and you know, tell you guys, you know, is that your bong or my bong? You know, it'll be fun.
That's right. Is it your bong or my bong tonight?
Oh, red.
I actually was reading your comic in one of the behind the scenes. I'm going to try to find, I hope I have the footage still, because I was like reading through it before we were waiting for the light to come in, and I'm sitting on this big log that has like moss and ivy and bugs and all this stuff, and I'm like, we got 15 seconds before they crawl up my skirt. And I'm like, so and we had to wait, because now there's a huge group of people that decided to bring all their children into the forest while I'm there covered in blood and, you know, all this stuff. So we're like, hello, goodbye. They finally leave where you hear all these ridiculous children going, who is that woman? Okay. So now it's my turn, and I start reading the comic out loud because all those people were so loud in the frickin' nature, and we're being quiet, and they're rah, rah, rah. So I was like, oh, do you see the boobs on this page? They moved the kids quicker. They moved them right along much quicker when I started reading out loud from the comic.
Yeah, that seems to happen.
By the way, it's a very awesome comic. I know I'm
making
jokes, but it was freaking awesome. I have had a lot of people try to steal it because, oh my god, this is too cool and I need to read it. So I slapped their hands. Get your own.
Well, they can come see us at a con, like we tell everybody, and they can get their own copy. And while they're there, hey, they can pick up issue 2.
Oh yeah.
And if you wait till after April, Angel knows where it's at. If you wait till after April, issue 3 will be out.
Oh, that's awesome.
But this show's not about us. This show's about you.
She mentioned it. She mentioned it.
Sorry, we just kind of chatted over everybody.
Well, actually, I just wanted to say is if you are interested in Loren or the Toking Dead or Still Token, there's a bunch of information down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. So you just got to check that. Click the linky. And
it all depends on how you're laying.
Yeah.
Click the licky.
Just real quick before we go.
Get that whip.
The film that Loren was chatting about just now is her film Yield. Yeah. Just for anybody, because I've noticed that a bunch of people have joined in. They might have missed that, but she was referring to her full length.
Yep, full length feature. Film, my first.
Yeah.
I don't go small, so I don't do shorts. Some people like shorts. Some people told me to do a short, just like some people told me I should write a novella or a short story before I write a novel. I was like, have you seen me? I am too big for shorts. Okay. So, yes, Yield is a feature horror film where I'm even playing Betsy Carnico, who chops up and eats bullets. Fun.
Awesome.
But let's take it back a little bit. I was reading. Yeah, that's good. I was reading in your bio that you actually started acting in high school plays.
Yeah.
Do any of those plays stand out still in your mind today?
Yeah. First of all, I started doing plays in high school because they allowed every drama and music kid to stay after school with basically no supervision, and I'm a drinker. So that was the perfect combination for me. Stay all night, party, have basically no adults telling us what to do, and then make some interesting stuff. One of the things we did was Arsenic and Old Lace, which most people don't know anymore, but it's a Cary Grant movie. Very awesome. He has 2 aunts in that are like these weird, crazy old biddies that decide to poison and kill people, and there's bodies all over the house. And for me, I, at the time, had really bad, stage fright isn't the right word. It was more a concern of all my peers reacting to the extreme, because I was very much like a street kid that suddenly is in musicals. And so I always took little small parts and then helped build everything or do all the backstage stuff. So on that one, the funniest part is they made me one of the cops. Me a cop is like hilarious in the first frickin' place. Here I am drinking, and they're like, all right, put this uniform on. And I'm like, we made me what today? Okie dokie. And the picture in the yearbook, I'm even wearing my Adidas sneakers because they wanted me to wear men's like shoes that would work with the outfit. And I'm like, no, that'll hurt my feet. That's not happening. So there's a picture of me in a police uniform, basically, with Adidas sneakers on, just kind of sitting there all kind of like, I can't believe you did this.
That's awesome. So,
and I loved it because I was also able to meet a lot of like troubled kids and then pull them on with me. And I was like, you don't have to sing or dance if you don't want to. There's stuff you could do backstage. And a lot of them, it gave them the control that at home they didn't have. So like one dude was like really spiraling down. He almost was about to tap out on the universe. And I caught him at the last second. And I was like, come on, you come with me. I'm going to be backstage doing stuff. And I made him handle all the backstage stuff. So he was the one that would yell at somebody to make make sure the props are on the table. And that little bit of power and control gave him so much confidence. He didn't want to harm himself anymore.
Yeah.
And now he does lighting for a living. Like, that's pretty exciting, you know? So,
That's awesome. Good,
in a way, I got to cause a lot of trouble and help a little bit.
Nice.
And you're traveling around doing some shows, cons, appearances.
Yep. I get hired, all over the country right now, basically on the East Coast, because flying all the way across country is, a little more expensive. But hey, if they want me, I'll go. I don't mind.
That's what we keep saying.
So it's good.
We keep saying the same thing. We keep getting asked, when you coming to California? I said, when somebody pays for me to come.
Right.
That's
right.
Legitness.
I mean, it is.
Because I'm not getting on a plane with all my bucks. Could you imagine the freaking luggage fees?
Right. Swear, this is my carry-on. I can't pick it up, but it's my carry-on.
Yeah, right. See, all these flight
50
attendants,
pounds.
they helped me bring all my carry-ons on. Thanks. I couldn't carry my carry-on.
So I know we got quite a few viewers, Leo. We got any questions coming in out there that you've seen, or?
Angela,
should we keep?
Go
ahead.
Let's keep on going. But Angela says, once I have Yield, I'll be promoting it for you. Angela says that.
Angela is my promoter. She's fantastic. She's a wonderful person. Hi, Angela.
Yeah, she is. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, we love Angela. She's always in the chat room. Definitely very helpful. Angela also says me and Loren can team up killing those zombies, and she says she want to kill some zombies as well. And
nice.
William Pace says it's New York, nothing to see here.
Yeah.
And Will Yates said hello, everybody. So if you have questions, post them in the chat room. No matter where you're watching, either multiple Facebooks or YouTubes. If you're watching us live, just post it in the comments. I'll keep an eye on it and make sure I get to it at some point. Right?
That's right.
That's right.
I mean, this amazing young woman has done so many things, from being in movies or production assistant on movies to filming her own movie to writing multiple books. I mean, there's got to be questions out there. Somebody's got to have a question about something. Like, seriously, wake the fuck up.
I have a question about the poster here. Who's the artist that designed the poster for the movie?
For Yield, the poster is made by Jonathan Mears. He's an amazing, talented illustrator. I met him at Sci-Fi Horror Fest in Oneonta last year, and we've stayed friends. And it is just an incredible piece of artwork. I'm really, really proud of it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
I think it's badass.
Right? He's so talented. You guys got to check him out. Jonathan Mears, Myers.
Well, hopefully he'll be out at Sci-Fi this year, and we can actually meet him.
Yeah. Oh my God. Maybe we could do like a little live video, all of us.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do a little live video.
William Pace says, I want to get stoned with zombies.
Anytime, William. Anytime, William. You show up at the show, man. We'll go outside. We'll smoke a fatty, brother.
I want to get stoned with zombies.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
Anytime.
Dawn of the Dead at the end when they're playing video games. Like, you just needed the bong there.
That's right. That's right.
We just did a Dawn of the Dead show.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Turns out I'm related to Sergeant Steele by marriage.
Really?
Come on, really?
Yeah.
Now wait a minute. He was on the show?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that how you got him on the show?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Shit.
We were. He came to our wedding, and it's I see him at like the family wedding, so that's like we just sit and chat. He's an awesome dude. And he's
celebrities at your family weddings. That's pretty badass.
Yeah. And he's local to Connecticut. Just a sweetheart, down to earth, awesome dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he's quite a history buff.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, he is. I actually had the pleasure of watching that episode.
Yeah,
I caught it just as it started. And I'm not going to say it, but it was one of the few episodes that I actually had the chance to sit through the whole thing and watch it. And I was actually really stoked. I was like, he's a history buff. He likes military stuff. Ooh!
He's also such a wealth of knowledge that I'm gonna try to convince him maybe he can do a show himself. He's retired. Maybe he has a little extra free time, then just try to
Is-
share
is-
that
is the-
knowledge,
Is the Dorkening Podcast Network looking for more shows?
Always.
What are you up to now? 17?
I believe 17, yeah.
2000.
2000.
17 shows on this network, folks.
Yeah.
This isn't the only one. You got to watch them all. Guaranteed you'll find at least one you like.
Collect them all.
Yeah, totally.
You won't like this one, but you'll find one you like.
Yeah,
Including
Loren,
this one.
I have a question for you. As a
Sure,
horror
Papa.
writer, what's your favorite horror movie?
Oh,
Ooh.
Hellraiser. I don't know if you could see behind me, but I collect Hellraiser stuff. I get gifts of Hellraiser stuff. Doug Bradley actually has a copy of one of my books. He played Pinhead, Hellpriest.
Oh yeah, we know who
Yep.
Doug is.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was an incredible moment when he got one of the books. And for me, the world of all the Cenobites, the entire imaginative, the wall opens up and here are these creatures, delighted my brain so much when I was like 7 or 8. That's how young I was. And I was in trouble too. Like my poor mother, she had grounded me. So I put the TV on mute and put captions. So I turned the TV on. It's like midnight, something like that. And it's TNT. And the TV turns on and it's Hellraiser, but it's a scene where the face rips and he's like, Jesus wept. So I scream, wake up everybody, get in trouble. They unplug the TV from downstairs, but I want to see what happens. So after they go back to bed, I pile up all these books at 7 years old, reach the damn thing, plug it back in, turn it back on, get in the room, and I'm like, been my favorite movie ever since. That and Beetlejuice.
Cool.
Those two are
Nice.
just
Beetlejuice.
imaginative delights.
Those are two good ones.
House of a Thousand Corpses is the other one. I think it's tied all three kind of for first place because they're each inventive, creative, and then strong characters.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that first Hellraiser is definitely.
I do have
classic.
a question popping up on my watch party. Michelle Perkins asked, "Where can I watch Yield?"
Oh, Yield will be out in spring on DVD and Blu-ray. After that, there'll be streaming channels. But for quite some time, it's just going to be the two because we need to have the money come in so that we could pay for the streaming channels. Most people don't understand that.
Yep.
Nobody gives you anything for free.
No,
not really.
So, in regards
especially with streaming
to that, Michelle, when it is released, Loren will let us know, and I'll find out how to get a copy down to you.
I definitely will have it on my store site.
Michelle
which,
Perkins asked, "Where can I watch Yield?"
Store my Shopify. So if you go on Happy Horror website,
Leo is fucking with me right now.
Sorry.
he just literally ran back something through my mind, through in my headset.
Is that what happened? I heard something.
Yeah, that was sorry.
You open the box, we came.
I love that, Angel. Absolutely. The only thing I don't have is the cube. So I have all these dolls of Hellraiser everywhere, but I've never gotten the cube.
Go ahead, Leo.
Actually, I just bought the cube for Kevin.
We'll shake him down.
No, so there's at the cons. If you're lucky enough to be at a con, he's actually on Facebook too. You can order on his site. 3D Mucky Chris. Have you heard of him?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got good stuff.
Yeah. So he's an artist and he does his art in 3D. So a lot of his stuff is like custom 3D artwork.
Sure.
But he was selling the cube at Terrificon. Oh, actually, Angel got something right there.
Oh, cool. Is that Samurai?
Nah, it's Jason Buddha.
I was going to say it's Jason Buddha.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buddha
First I was
Jason.
going to say it was Buddha, and then I saw the mask, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. That's a kind of a
So
fucked
it's
up
Buddha with
combination.
a sword.
But I like it.
If I say it's Buddha with a sword, somebody is going to be really angry with me. I'm going to just keep trying. You know what it is? It's also the way your light was, Angel. It was a little hard to see at first, that's all.
Yeah, Angel's rocking the creepy light tonight.
Yeah, always keep it creepy.
Keep it creepy.
Keep it
I love
creepy.
that. Keep it creepy.
All right, nice.
It's a nice skull you got behind you.
Thank you. I like it. No. I collect a bunch of that stuff too. I like all sorts of skulls. So I have a whole collection of Sugar Skulls, Day of the Dead stuff. So almost everything was given to me. Every time a fan gives me something, I keep it. I can't get rid of it. I'm a hoarder. So I have all sorts of gifts from fans just everywhere. I can't even show you right now because it's chaos. But and so now that they know I drink, I like skulls, I like Pinhead, I get a lot of that stuff.
We had some questions come in. First, Angela says, I met Doug Bradley, and we took a selfie at ScareCon 2018.
Yeah, you did.
She also says, "Hey, Lauren, do you know which stores will carry Yield?" And she wants the Hellraiser cube as well. And then also, Will had an awesome question. He said, "I might make it to Terracon this year, but that was William Pace." Will Yates says, "Do each of you have a favorite horror con to attend? He needs ideas for this year."
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
You guys go first.
Well, I'll answer the first question. I don't have it going out to any stores yet. That takes a lot of discussion with people, and once it's done, for them to look at it and stuff, from what I know. So right now it's just going to be on DVD and then work on it from there. So anybody has a store that wants my DVD, let's talk. And I think ScareCon's one of my favorites. I try to go every year. And I'm looking into, what did you say, Terracon? I'm looking into that one, which is pretty, interesting looking. But I also like the Sci-Fi Horror Fest. I've done that a few years, and every time I get hired, it's a blast and everyone's nice. So those are good ones. Those are the two I definitely try to do. Everywhere else is just whoever hires me, I say, sure, I'll be there.
Are you going to be at Wicked Weekend?
No, that's the same weekend as I was hired for BroomCon, upstate New York, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Okay.
The rest of us will be there.
Well, I want the Hermione thing from Harry Potter, where I could be in two places at once, so I could be partying at both cons. That'd be epic.
Yeah.
Multiplicity.
We seem to run into that same problem. Sorry, Angel.
Well, it sucks when it happens. You know what I mean? It's like you want to be there and you want to be there.
Yeah. We ran into that last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we're running into it this year already.
Oh yeah, there's so many events that I have 3 events solidified already, but the problem is there's so many other events that are near each other that it might not be possible because making it from one to the other within a week and a weekend can be too difficult depending on the location and exhaustion level. So it's very difficult, especially since a lot of cons, they don't come out with their dates as soon as some others. So all of a sudden you're like, I was already hired for this one, but this one is epic, and I know all the people that are going to be there, but I can't because it's the same weekend.
Yep. Yeah, we see that. We get a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
one of the things that I've heard is some cons have the guests sign a contract where they can't be at a similar con within a certain amount of miles within a certain time frame.
Yeah.
So that could be a reason why we're starting to get dates later as well.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes
true.
sense.
True.
Who would like
And
to...
that kind of sucks, actually.
Oh, it does. Yeah. I can see, the cons wanting to have, a certain actor or actress, specific to their show, but it kind of hurts it for everybody because some people can only attend certain shows, and the more the merrier. That's what I say. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that for sure.
I don't
But I
like
also understand, he's at all these shows. I could go to any one of them. I'm not going to bother with these. And that kind of makes it, I guess,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, less special.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when I met Courtney Gaines last year, we had a panel together at the Sci-Fi Horror Fest. He's a really nice dude. And I was like, oh, you're doing this event next year? He's like, no, I only do one event every 3 years. I'm not allowed or whatever because of his agent or whatever he had said, because you know how it is at a con. It's a bit of a blur. But that kind of thing. So it must be depending on who you are or what the rules are. There are only a certain kind of thing you can do, where other ones are like at Sci-Fi Horror Fest. Jason Lively and Felisa Rose, they're there every single year. They're the ambassadors there,
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah, which is great. I think it's nice to have them as a staple. They're a bunch of fun. But I guess it's depending on the con and what they decide to do. But it just kind of stinks because I feel like if any of them actually talk to each other, I can make both events. I could be at Wicked Weekend and I could be at,
Yep. I have a comment on the watch party. It's from Braden Gennaro. He says, "Hey Lauren, you rock, and I love the show."
Awesome. Bryden DiGiorno is actually
Yes,
one of
thank
the
you.
actors from Yield.
Well, thank you.
Bryden will be in the beginning of the film. He plays Nick. He's part of the first couple that gets lost in the forest. So, hey Bryden, I've been working on the edits. You guys are looking epic in it. The other one is Sydney Sweeney. She is gorgeous. She's going to be the girlfriend of his in the beginning of the movie.
Nice.
She's stunning, and they are so cute together. It's just working out perfectly. So, and the other two leads are Lion Beckwith and Chelsea Lesage, and they are the rest of the movie basically, and they are a dynamic duo for sure. So I'm very honored and blessed for who I got in my film.
That's
Nice,
awesome.
nice. Yeah, and I apologize for mispronouncing the name. I didn't have the old man glasses on.
You didn't have your spectacles on, Bob?
No.
Well, since we're just
Deadly.
talking about actors, how did you come about getting everybody? Auditions or these people that you already knew, type of deal?
Honestly, everybody auditioned. I made sure that I was as fair as possible. Anybody, either a newbie or celebrity, everybody had to audition. Some people were really irate with me about that. I'm a big time person. How dare you say I need to audition? I'm sorry. I'm playing it fair. In my opinion, in my eyes, if I say you don't have to audition, but you do, that's being shitty. So everybody auditioned, and then I actually pick and chose based on the dynamic and the energy and what I thought. Like the first, you don't want to watch a movie where it doesn't look like the couple would ever be together.
Correct.
You're already going to start with questions.
Yeah.
So, in all the cases, that's what I was thinking of. Plus, I had to make sure that the character matched up. So in the beginning, you don't want that first girl to act like
right.
That will ruin the beginning flow of it. So I needed one that was cutesy and adorable and that kind of innocent whatever. And then you got
mousy.
Chelsea, who is just a powerhouse of an alpha female. You need that. So, with all the auditions, they were people that did phenomenal, but would never be perfect for that part.
Yeah.
So, I have a bunch of people that are in my audition section of my email. And I know for the movies coming up, I'm going to look back through them and go, you know what? You were perfect for this. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how I did it.
Yeah, you need the actor's got to be specific to the part that you got to play.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You might be the greatest actor, but you're not going to fit this part. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right, and I felt bad because if you look at the movie industry, one of the biggest problems we always hear about is how it's just basically, the issue of like segregation, basically, where everybody's just, a lot of white people in one movie and nobody's getting any chances for anything else. That makes me very angry. So one of the things I made sure was that I had some form of different nationalities throughout the movie. So that's why I made sure I was able to have somebody like Lion, so that you have an opportunity for somebody other than just another white person playing a role. And that's why in Yield 2, I'm already talking to people where, it's going to be a very diverse group of people. That way more people have an opportunity, a chance to act and get out there. And, I think that's a big thing that we need to start doing, is not just be like, white bread America forever. All my friends are basically a mix of all sorts of wonderful stuff. And I had people I couldn't add to the first movie because I couldn't have, like, one of my dearest friends, she's black, and she wanted to be in the part of the Carnigo clan, but that wouldn't make sense if all the Carnigo clan is white hillbillies. I would have to add so much time trying to explain why she was in it. So I felt awful. I said, but don't worry, I got you. You're going to be in the second movie where you're going to be one of the people I got to come rescue. So I'm already planning on Yield 2, where I'm playing Betsy, plus I'm playing the girl that's going to go kill all the people. So that's going to be fun.
Nice.
Whoa.
Nice.
Awesome.
Did you have something, Leo?
Oh, actually, I was going to say I opened up to watch party, so you don't need to keep an eye on it.
Oh, nice.
Leo's watching the watch party.
Do you have to run an ad?
I can't actually. Yeah, here we go.
Are you supposed to? Let's do that before we go on to the next part of the show.
Yeah, totally. So every single show is brought to you by Deadly Grounds Coffee. They're our sponsor. They're what pay for all the hosting and everything. Sponsor. Yeah.
Sponsor.
It's the only coffee I drank. It's absolutely amazing. If you like flavored coffee, I'm on keto, so it doesn't give you any extra calories or anything like that, but it's an awesome flavor. Death by Chocolate is my absolute favorite. But
Amaretto.
I like all the ones I've tried so far.
Oh, yeah. But here's a zombie talking about coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds Coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Jeff.
Oh, there we go. We'll do
I
that.
don't know the books.
It doesn't matter. All you have to do is
I don't know the name of the
you don't have to know the name of the books. All you have to know is that she's an author. So just bring it in as she's an author. As your wife told you when we did the cameo last week, Jeffrey, you have to relax.
Relax, Jeff.
Here we go.
Well, with that, we are back. Just in the watch party. Joanna, I'm going to kill your name. I'm sorry. Lydia Varner, I'm so sorry if I got it wrong.
It's Lady J.
Lady J, okay. Rick says Gumba Gumbies unite. Michelle says 100% agree with your mindset.
I'm glad you agree with my mindset, Val. Thank you.
Lady J wants to know, what celebrities would you like to work with?
Oh, everyone. Just everyone. It's always been a dream of mine to work on like Hollywood sets, but without the Hollywood grossness. So basically, I am Hollywood, and then I can work with anyone. No, you know, they're honestly all the different celebrities that I've met at cons. I want to take all of them and put them in a movie where every one of them can have cameos. Like Tony Todd. Imagine a cameo from Tony Todd, who plays Candyman. That man was behind me once. He's like, "Hello, Loren." I almost wet myself with excitement. I was like, "Oh my god, it's the voice."
He's a local boy too.
Yeah. Robert Mukes is another one. He's like 6'11" and a sweetheart. Every time I see him at a con, I just want to pinch his cheeks, which is awkward considering how tall he is. Come down, so I could pinch your cheeks. Not happening. I swear I won't do it, but still funny. But I mean, James Duval is another one. I got Angel giggling. James Duval is another one. Every time I've seen him at a con, he has so much energy. Jason Lively. Okay, I can keep going. It's all of them. It's everyone.
Right.
That's a good list.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I don't know if I could have all of them on the set with me at once, because I think we would be smoking, drinking, and partying. And all of a sudden be like, shit, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We didn't film anything. Hold on.
That sounds like a Toking Dead movie, though.
Yeah.
I think we need to make that happen.
Right. We'll just get all the celebrities. We'll turn them all into fucking zombies. We'll get them all high. We'll kill a few.
No. You don't make them zombies. You make them people we wind up running into while we're killing zombies.
You could do that, too. But I think some of them would look better as zombies.
I think some of them, like, what is it? Eugene Clark, who plays Big Daddy? He's awesome. He was a zombie.
Right.
There you go. That's a
a
cameo. That's a cameo for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
yeah, good ideas.
The other half of Toking Dead, Jeff, had some questions about authorship and writing.
Authorship, yes. 7 books.
7 books, about to be 8. Working on the 8.
Can you give a little bit of like the background of why and how you started writing? We've heard about acting.
Say it again. You broke up a bit.
Uh-oh.
He's looking for his clock.
How did you start writing? What got you into writing as opposed to the acting?
I was a real little kid when I first started writing. I was obsessed with Edgar Allan Poe by 1st grade. I was reading Grimm's Fairy Tales kindergarten, 1st grade, and it delighted me. And then the teacher taught us that we could write stories, and I was like, the really creepy, fucked up shit in my head I could put down on paper. Hell yeah. And then I was in college. You know, obviously I was doing all the musicals and stuff, and then I was in college, and I had a creative writing class. It was going to be the class that I would do and then be able to graduate with my degree. And the professor for a creative writing class goes, the only way you can graduate is to turn everything you wrote in my class into a book, publish it, and then give it to me. Now, we're talking while we're still in dial-up days, and there was like one self-publishing company out there.
Yeah.
So, and he was the only professor that taught the class, and there was nowhere else to take it. So no matter what, I would have to go back if I didn't do it, have his class again, and it would still be the same assignment, he said. So I went home, put them all, did everything he told me to do. I used a company at the time called Lulu. And it came out with Black Dreams and Shattered Illusions. And it's all dark poetry and everything that the teacher gave us. You know, this is the topic, write a poem. What's the least likely thing you'd ever do? That's a difficult one. All right, I'll write it as a poem. So I published it, handed it in. That must have been 2005, maybe 2004. Something like that. And then many years later, I was working with special needs kids. I was about 25, working with aggressive autistics, things like that. I got sick, got hurt on the job, got laid off because our entire district had to lay off 75 people. I wound up being one of them, and I needed to know what I was going to do with my life. I was like, okay, I'm basically bedridden. I'm ill, but my brain still works. What can I do? And that book fell off the freaking shelf. I looked at it and I was like, all right, bet. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to make it so I'm proud of it instead of I just passed the freaking class. And a little while later, after I fixed that up and published it, I didn't tell anybody right away because, I wanted to just have it out there and then move on from there. And that's when I wrote The Very Devil Herself. I was listening to dark classical music. It was near October-ish. And the Dan's Macabre song came on, and all of a sudden, I just saw her standing in East End, London, wearing this beautiful Victorian dress with blood dripping down her face. And she looked at me and she was like, "I'm Alexandria, the very devil herself." And I was like, "Yes, you are, bitch. I'm writing you."
No, it's funny you mentioned that. That one actually won you an award.
No, the Storyteller of Pain I won an award for, actually.
Oh.
The Very Devil herself, not everybody can handle it because it is about an immortal cannibal who works for the King of England from the 16th through 19th century, hunting down historical serial killers. So I went back in time, looked at actual history and said what serial killers were during this time and what would happen if, regular people couldn't kill this person. So they sent this cannibal woman. So you learn things like what a face roll-up is, eating noses, it's gory, all right?
That's a fruit roll-up.
Face roll-up is a beautiful thing. You take the cheek meat, you rip the face off, you roll it up, you eat it. It's good. Yeah. It's true. So for the problem is, one, the title, The Very Devil Herself, anybody who's at all religious misunderstands and gets all sorts of freaked out. I don't want that book in my house. Okay. She eats people, honey. She's not part of the devil. It's cool. It's a smaller demographic that can handle the gore, but everybody that's read that one, they want more of the series. I have people all the time going, "When's the next Alexandria book coming out?" I'm like, I don't want to be typecasted as just Alexandria. So I wrote The Storyteller of Pain, which fans voted on, and I won the Raven Award for just by fans and no judges and stuff. And that one is about a psychiatrist trapped within a lunatic asylum with 13 different types of demons and a deadly surgeon all trying to get her at once. She has to figure out how to survive all of it without the help of a priest. So with that one, I was like, wait a minute, Exorcist, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Are we saying that only Catholics have to deal with demons? Because if that's true, how many people really want to be a Catholic? Let's hold on a second. Let's think about this. Demons only attack Catholics, or they attack everyone, and the only one that's been publicized is Catholicism with a priest. So I got very curious, and when I get curious, I won't stop digging. I went into archives, I started digging, and in every form of faith and religion, there is a way to handle cleansing and getting rid of demons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We call it cannabis.
There you go. Actually, it is. It's a spiritual Rastafarian. It works. That's actually how you do it. So with that one, there's little nods to stuff with Catholicism, holy water might be in there a bit, but really I took, how would someone who practices Voodoo do? What would somebody who practices Houdon do? What would somebody who is Jewish, this, that, and had to deal with it without having a priest stuck and trapped within a lunatic asylum? I based it on Danvers Lunatic Asylum, which has always been an obsession of mine. And at the time I wrote it, there was actually a flood that did hit Danvers Lunatic Asylum, flooded out the entire place, ripped out a bunch of bridges, and everyone had to get trapped within either the American Red Cross shelters, which there weren't many of, or they actually had to go to the insane asylum to hide. So I put all that in it. Plus, then I got ordained, and I'm now a minister because I was like, you know what? After reading all of this and all these different faiths, I'm non-denominational. So no matter what your faith or belief system is, you can come to me, and maybe my prayer will have a little extra oomph this time versus somebody who isn't.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and I started helping people go, when you smell that sulfur smell and rotten meat, you need to call me. Let's talk. I'll help you out. Without it being like Dominoes, because not everybody wants the Dominoes. They want something a little different. They need something that's more their vibe. So that's how I even wrote The Storyteller of Pain, was the love of all those things meshed together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
And all this stuff is available on Amazon, correct?
Yes, Amazon and Barnes & Noble online for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And the third one I wrote is The Bedtime Killer. So that one I couldn't help myself. I was house sitting for someone, and they had those lines where they had the little slats in it so you could just see this much. And I was looking outside, and all of a sudden there were landscapers there, and there were eyes looking back in at me. And I was like, okay, what the F? And I realized, do you ever count how many landscapers show up to your house? Do you count how many leave? No one does. Do you know that none of them have to get checked for any kind of criminal record? So, knowing all of that and having friends in those little businesses, I realized how little it's even controlled or anybody even pays attention to them. They can do anything they want. They could be on your property still. How do you know? All you know is that truck drove away. So that's the basis of the book. So, The Bedtime Killer is about a peeping Tom who gets tired of looking at his ladies from afar and trying to figure out why they don't love him right when they don't even know who he is. And something triggers him to become a lust killer. So I even put a little nod to Richard Ramirez in there, the lust killer.
Nice.
And I did all the research. So in that one, not only do you get to see him go from peeping Tom to lust killer, but you get to see him begin and understand his signature MO. You get to see visions and flashbacks to childhood that made him that way. Plus, you get to see every crime from the point of view of the victims and the police until the crescendo at the end. So that's The Bedtime Killer, which is the third one.
Hey, Johnny, trim that bush.
Oh, I actually put something like that in there. Yeah. So that one is extremely sexually graphic, but not in a romantic sense. I think in all three of those, the Storyteller of Pain has a bit of a love story, but only because it helps when you think about how Einstein actually said to his daughter in a letter that was found, that if E equals MC squared, where energy is, the biggest component, love is actually the most powerful overall. And I posted the article many times. So with that in mind, there is a bit of a nuance of a love story in there because love and light can blast out all the darkness in your world. So that's the only reason I even put it in there, because when I wrote The Very Devil Herself, they were like, sweetheart, I don't need any book that sparkles. I heard and read about Twilight. I don't need that. I'm like, this is about face roll-ups and people getting eaten, which is why I basically leave out romantic stuff, because they look at me and figure, you're a girl. You write romance, right? No.
Yeah, I write romance with a little bit of a fucking twist.
Quite literally a fucking twist. Because The Bedtime Killer, I even put a little nod to High Tension, and that's another one of my favorite movies. So, I can't help myself.
Angel like that.
If you've seen High Tension, you guys all seen High Tension yet?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not going to ruin it. Go freaking see this movie. Make sure you put the audio and captions on English. You could watch it with subtitles. I like it, but still. High Tension is a French film, yet English subtitles or audio if you need to switch it over. But it is an amazing movie, in my opinion, about serial killer and all sorts of stuff. And Angel, you watched that one. So, you know when it's the serial killer in his truck and he's getting head?
Yep.
There you go. There's your nod. So when anybody reads The Bedtime Killer, which of course all of you are going to read it right now, I know it, and you know the movie, you'll understand my little nod to it, because I thought that was fantastic, because I'm such a bad person sometimes.
Just real quick, Lady J says, I need to be in the Token Dead movie. And there's a comment by Rick Naya. Ben, if you want to read that.
The one about the Goomba gummies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rick Nair, just to get a subject real quick, Rick Nair is the great-grandfather of hybrid cannabis. So he's one of the first to deal with that. He's also in legislature up in New Hampshire pushing for legalization. Amazing gentleman. We love him like a brother. He will be on a show in the future at some point. But we took a trip down to Diamond Productions, down to Bill Diamond Studios in New York, and we had Rick in the back seat. So
fucking trip.
It was a fucking trip. It was like 4-hour car ride down, 4-hour car ride back. So let's leave it at that with that. So Rick's back there, he's smoking, hitting his joint, and I'm fucking eating gummies, and he brought up the Care Bears and unicorns and farts, and before I knew it, we were the Goomba gummies doing the Wonder Twin fucking powers.
Rainbow.
Rainbow farting unicorns. So it's been like an ongoing joke. If we see rainbows or rainbow farting unicorns, it's Goomba gummies, and it's just kind of
so much trouble now that I know.
Well, hey, it's not just you that knows. Everybody viewing this knows, and everybody that watches this later knows. But it's all good. I mean,
send your memes and pictures and little gifts of unicorn farts.
Yeah, exactly. Well, every time we see him and he's down or we're down or something, that'll come up in an instant message or a text message. You'll just have a unicorn farting rainbows or something, and it just it's one of those inside jokes that lightens the mood. Everybody has it.
No more.
All right. Well, I just wasted 10 minutes of the show talking about fucking farting unicorns.
No. That's cool, man.
I'm so excited about what you do, though. That is awesome that he's fighting legislator about it. Like that's the freaking epic. That's what needs to happen on a federal level and knock this freaking shit off, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's one of the biggest things that Jeff and I are really trying to do is we're trying to bring all these industries together, because whether people realize it or not, in the comic industry, you have a lot of people that enjoy and partake in cannabis. And if they don't, they're for it. In the horror genre, it's the same aspect. And
we're all fighting our own battles.
yeah, if we can bring all these communities together,
you know what I mean?
It's just going to benefit everybody in the long run. But Leo, you had something to say. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no. It was totally useless, so don't worry about it.
Nothing is ever useless. What did you have to say, brother?
Really? Have you heard what I say?
No, actually, we just watched the eye candy down in the corner, I mean... Well, actually, hold on. Yep, you're down in the corner.
Yeah. I was going to say...
Nobody puts baby in the corner. Wait, it just happened.
Actually, did you see the Making Movies That Made Us? They covered that movie. It's totally interesting. But you mentioned unicorns. If you're totally got time to kill and you want to be totally mind fucked, Google Charlie the Unicorn. It's like some old 90s. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Totally. Totally.
I must have missed that. Hold on.
Charlie
the Unicorn.
Yeah, it's like from the it's probably early 2000s. Yeah. It's totally fucked up.
That and salad fingers. Do you like my rusty spoons?
Like
Those
my
are
rusty
spoon. Also, did you ever see the show Happy on Netflix with the freaking blue unicorn?
Oh my god, I love Happy.
How is that?
See what you started, Rick?
I've seen the commercials for it, the ads for it, but I've never seen it.
Oh,
it's got Stabler in it. It's based on a comic book, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the guy Maloney from Law and Order SVU. He's like a burnt out cop that's looking for his daughter, and he's like I can't remember if he's like stoned or something, but his daughter's like
daughter gets kidnapped.
Yeah,
and taken by a creepy Santa person.
Yep, and her invisible friend goes to find the father, which is Maloney. So he's seeing this little rainbow unicorn, following him around, telling him where to find his daughter and stuff. It's really messed up, but it's awesome.
So I know season 2 looks like it's even more epic. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I know you're watching the watch party notes.
Yes,
but I do have to say, I got to say this because Jeff's gonna laugh too. My wife Michelle just chimed in and said no one can be in the Toking Dead movie until Jeff's wife and my wife are in the comic somehow. So I just said, and I keep trying to tell her I can't put her in the comic because then I have to kill her, and that's just not right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna catch hell for that later, but that's okay.
I'm still trying to think of a way where she could be alive. She could play an imaginary, like she's already been dead, and you just keep having it like flashback in your head kind of thing. Just saying.
Well,
we lost
flashback.
Benny froze.
Well,
little flash, yeah.
No spoil. I mean, don't want to spoil it, but not everybody's a zombie yet.
That's true. That's true. Not everybody's a zombie yet.
Yeah.
But I already told her if the zombie apocalypse ever did happen, that she probably wouldn't survive because she does not like guns. She's okay with a knife, more okay with a baseball bat, but that's not really going to help you when I'm running twice as fast. I mean, yes, you heard me right. I said running twice as fast.
Are you kidding?
Away.
She might have survived you at this point. You're talking about running?
Yeah, you're right.
Weapons like guns?
So it was nice knowing you all. This is probably my last show. I will not be awake tomorrow morning.
Just catching up on the comments. William says she's in the middle of the screen. Angela says he was also on True Blood and a movie called Crash. Also, Happy equals if Shrek was a cop show. Yeah. And William says I'd be a serial killer, spelled like the food. If I got head, Fruity Pebbles, please. And Angela says she did a drawing too on the devil herself, watching Yield. And over on the watch party, Michelle says, well, Anne's Bakery and Michelle's Massage Parlor. And Clayton says, much love.
Product placement.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
He went through pretty quick. Some of those were interesting.
Yes.
Well, I try to make sure that everybody's, covered. I don't want anybody with hurt feelings that I left out. So
sometimes you got to leave them out.
Michelle said she can run very fast.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, so we got way off a subject because of Rick. Hey, thanks, Rick. And who wants to bring Angel? Bring it back in.
All right, so you say you're working on your 8th book, right?
Yes.
And you have
of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
Yes.
Give it a little synopsis on that again.
The Queen of Hearts is basically a female vigilante serial killer that is just kind of has a little snap in her psychic senses where all of a sudden she's done being little nice girl and only helping others keep their crime scenes clean. She's decided that she's going to go take out all the big bad boys that are harming women and everybody's ignoring, and she takes their hearts. So that's going to be fun. I've written the first few chapters, but it's a little slow going only because I've been focusing on getting the editing done for the movie because there's like 60 days left until spring. So I want to make sure, you know what I mean? But that one, I start off that story based off a little stuff that happened in my childhood. And I was such a bad child.
No, I don't see that at all.
You can imagine. Like, we were playing Army in, I think it was pre-K, kindergarten, me and this boy. And I decided, like, Army, like, on the ground, you know, in the trees, in the bushes, all dirty and stuff. I decided we were going to capture and kill the enemy, which at the time was my father. So I used clear fishing line at the top of the steps. And down at the bottom of the steps, I took wrought iron metal chairs, turned them upside down so all the foot is showing and strategic. So you should hit those chairs and freaking die. And yay, I won against the enemy. Not understanding what happens to a person, death. Not understanding the concept at all at the time. Yeah. And my mom caught my dad at the last second, pulled him in the house, and then was like, "Your friend has to go home now." And she started explaining to me not only what happens to children if they kill, that killing is not the answer for getting a timeout. That, you know, those kinds of things.
You killed your father, you get a timeout.
Right? Like, all right, I'm going to kill this effort. He just stopped my TV time. And that you can use your words and have them be more deadly than ever needing to use your hands. And I was like, all right. And she honestly stopped me from being harmful to anybody after that. Because, you know, a little child has no idea what could happen.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have a pet that ever died yet either. So it wasn't like there was anything really to understand. I was just winning the war. So I start the Queen of Hearts with a bit of a story explaining what the childhood was like. And then changing it from there, if mom didn't save me, kind of thing. What would happen to her? How she would progress to working with all these different kinds of killers and helping them out until all of a sudden, snap, you guys aren't going to take care of this. Well, me and all my skills, I'm done being a little Miss Nice Girl. Because, you know, there's enough stories about guys, and I figure it's time that men realize how easily women could kill if we wanted to clean up the mess, you know? But there's cleaning crews. Most women don't understand there's cleaning crews. You just call someone and they'll clean it up for you. Brain matter and stucco ceiling, though, that's a difficult one. You got to have a lot of hours for that. I mean, you know, in theory. I don't know.
No, there's crime.
In theory.
Cleanup crews.
I just need purple stuff.
Go ahead, Leo.
Yeah, Rick Nea had quite the post. I just wanted to get this out there. So Rick Nea says, well, it's based on the Toking dead needing reinforcements, and all of a sudden a unicorn shows up, gets bitten by a zombie, and begins farting Goomba gummies, which start attacking the zombies with Care Bear-like powers. Goomba gummies unite! Haha! Love you guys to the moon and back. And see everybody. See everybody soon.
Rick, I love it. I want this story to be like an extra side thing. Can we make it the kids book, but not kids book?
Right?
Oh
right?
my.
That's like my friend Sam. You can never say his last name, Marciano or something. That has if you give a beer, if you give a bunny a beer.
I got it.
You got it.
I got it.
I love it. I'm wanting to get both his books. Every time I see him, I'm like, okay.
You're all
welcome.
Sam
okay, so if you give a bear a bong.
Yep.
I don't see that.
And then if you give a bear, give a bunny a beer.
He's holding it up to the camera that's on live.
And you can go on and pre-order if you give a kitty a cocktail.
Yeah, that's Sam Miserandino.
Thank you.
I actually met him, I want to say 4 years ago at a another zombie type con.
Yeah.
And we kind of hit it off as friends, me being a writer and blah blah blah, and him writing. And we connected like that, and Jeff and I hooked up with him and got him down here to NECC and a few of the other cons, and now he actually expanded out into the cannabis cons with us.
Nice. I've been telling him.
He is an amazing fucking person. Let me tell you.
Yeah, he is.
And I
He
threw
says
that swear in there because I saw something on the chat that my wife said that my mother-in-law says I shouldn't swear so fucking much. So I'm not going to fucking swear anymore.
Well, fucking A, what can you do?
You know, that's why we have the 18 plus at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
I think my mother wished I didn't curse so much, and she gave up when I was like 8. She's like, screw it, it's not I can do.
Right.
Kidding.
No, my mother-in-law is a great person, so I'll just leave it there. Because this show's not about us. But yes, Sam is an awesome person, awesome writer. If you get a chance to pick up any of his works, do it. I mean, he's wrote other stuff. He wrote a graphic novel called The Prince of Pieces.
Yes, I met him with that one.
That's where I met him.
Where I was.
It was that other type of zombie type con. We won't mention their name because fuck them.
Yeah, no, let's not.
Don't go
Let's
there.
not say we did because that. No, who wants to fuck a zombie? I feel like that would.
Hey, listen, you know, it gets all shriveled and ribbed up like that. It's ribbed for her pleasure.
No, that's just called mush, honey. That's disgusting for everybody's non-pleasure.
Well,
there's no bones in it. There's no bones about it, right?
Angela says, Loren, he was at Northeast Collectibles Extravaganza, Comic-Con. Also, we met him at Rock and Shock.
Yeah, he did Rock and Shock. Yep.
When is that one? Do we have dates for that one? Because I always want to do that one, and it winds up conflicting with something I was already hired for.
You need to do Rock and Shock. Rock and Shock's so awesome.
I know.
That's one of my favorite cons. To answer one of the questions from earlier tonight.
Yeah. No dates for 2020 yet.
All right. Well,
is it me?
Find out. Can you let me know? Because I'm always slow on the uptake about these dates. Like,
is it me or is Jeff going into zombie mode right now?
I am.
You look like you were going into zombie mode, like your eyes were starting to close, like you were like.
Did the cookie kick in?
Did the cookie kick in?
Yeah, look at his face.
The
You can tell by the smile.
Right?
Cookies.
20 minutes ago?
Yeah, like 20 minutes ago.
Who has cookies?
Jeff has cookies.
I made my own cookies.
What? And you didn't
Wicked
share?
Weekend.
Imagine all of us on cookies having an episode. I think that would be wonderful. We need to make that happen.
Not this kid.
And won't cookies.
No, the cookies don't bother me. It's the brownies. But the last time I had a cookie, we were in Barrie, Vermont. We had just finished the con. We were back at the hotel. It was probably like 9:00 at night. Jeff says, "You want a cookie?" I'm like, fuck it, cookie. Sure, why not? Boom. 20 minutes later, I busted out in hysterics laughing. And like, I was crying. I was laughing so fucking hard. God. He looks at me and goes, "What's so funny?" And I'm like, "The cookie just kicked in. I can't go to sleep now." And I literally got up and he got up. We went outside and sat on the bench for 45 minutes. Laughing like high school fucking teenagers.
It was a riot.
In our pajamas. People were walking by like, what the fuck is wrong with these two? It was hilarious. So, yeah, cookies, yeah.
Yeah, so Ben won't eat my cookies no more.
No more eating Jeff's cookies. See, look at this, Leo. You're supposed to pull us back onto subject.
Well, you know what? Speaking of books, if you want to learn more about Loren, check the show notes down below or up above. But I was going to ask you, a lot of people in horror, we know a lot of writers, and it seems like definitely the
we're all fucking voguing now.
How does one start to become self-published? Like, what software do you use? What services do you use? Where can somebody start to learn?
Google.
Google.com.
For me, I started by make sure you use Word. Honestly, I did Google Docs the first time with The Very Devil Herself, and their programming is so different that when I went to go put it into, the self-publishing group's algorithm, whatever you want to call it, it was like, does not process, does not compute. There was all these errors. So I had to retype the whole freaking thing into Word and then move on from there. So that's a big lesson I learned the hard way.
I use Word for everything.
It works. You got to use works. You got to use Word. I really like the Create Space. I use that a lot, which is now bought by Amazon. So Amazon KDP. It's weird that they have these little initials, but whatever.
Yeah, it's for the Kindle template.
Yeah.
Put it in there.
Yeah, that's one of the other great things was it was one of the few sites that automatically helped you do that, where whatever I was using before that, they didn't have anything to make it work. You'd have to pay somebody, and then there was no guarantee it would still be great, which I don't like the idea of I can't do it myself. So, honestly, everything you need to know you can find on Google. Every question you have, there is a website that'll explain it for you to the T with CreateSpace, if they even still use it. So, whatever it is, CreateSpace, Amazon program. It's all step by step. So they have the guides for everything. And what I always tell everybody is everyone's like, oh, I can't write a book. I'm like, why? They're like, well, it's so long. And I'm like, if you wrote a page every single day for a year, you'd have 365 pages. So most people don't write just one page. They'll write several. They'll, have an outpouring. So no matter what, it's the time. And most people don't realize that the time will pass no matter what you're doing. So you might as well be accomplishing something you're dreaming of.
That's true.
Right. I have to agree with her. I mean, that's how the comic book started. Jeff and I chatted back and forth, and it actually started as a book. So it's been written in book form. So the end of the first book is done. We're pulling the comic from the book.
That's really cool.
So, and hopefully at some point that'll get published. We have book one, part one, which explains the first comic. Now that issue 3 comes out, we're going to do the second book part. And then you put them all together. It's all marketing. But I know we're getting close to that time, Leo.
Yes, sir.
So,
what time is that?
What time is that? Cookie time.
Cookie time. Well, before we begin to wrap things up, anything else? Any other comments or questions or anything? If you have anything in the chat room, now's the time to post it. If you've been lurking the whole time and just been eager to say something. A lot of people will lurk, we get tons of lurkers. Angela says,
looky loos.
Angela says Northeast is March 13th and 15th. I actually took an extra week of vacation this year so that I can try to hit more cons. But one question not everybody answered, favorite cons. I know, Angel, you had a couple before we wrap things up.
Yeah, I like to hang out at Rock and Shock and Scarecon. Those the ones I go to in the area. They're all awesome and fun, but those are my two today.
And we have Wicked Weekend coming up soon. Next month.
Sure. Yeah, can't wait for that.
Their first outing.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
and
I'm excited to see.
Matter of fact, I got a link to it in the show notes down below or up above, and also a link for YC3, which we'll be at as well. And,
nice, very nice.
Yeah, that's coming up in just a couple weeks.
Next weekend.
Next week. Okay, next weekend.
Next weekend, right? Next weekend. A week from this Saturday.
27th.
25th.
Okay.
25th. No, I'm glad you guys are coming up to that. That's gonna be a good time. And like I said, what we chatted about last night and all that. Yep. So
Philip from Dark Discussions is gonna join us, and also Alex Hoy. He's gonna
nice.
We're getting him a little bit of space there so he can sell his wares. He's a local artist, and
check out his stuff.
Alex is a good guy.
Yeah, he is. So we'll do a rundown. We'll start with Angel. Where do you like people following you?
You can follow me at Chaos Manus on my Instagram and Facebook, and you can follow That Strange Show, which is the podcast that I do every week, and you can find that everywhere, and Dorkening Podcast Network.
Yeah. Loren, where do you like interacting with your fans?
Everywhere, honestly. I have Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Loren Molloy, LorenMolloy. You can find me in all of them. I also have all of my books on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And you can find me on IMDb because, when you bobble, it makes it more important.
That's imdb.me/Loren Molloy. And again, links in the show notes for all that information there. Jeff, my man.
What's happening? Toking Dead. Facebook, The Toking Dead. Google it, The Toking Dead. Just look up The Toking Dead. We're everywhere.
There we go.
Read an article about us, or you can find us anywhere and just do what you're going to do and check it out.
Totally. Issue 2.
I'm trying to be like animated.
Issue 2.
I was told that works, right?
Yeah, Angel.
Benjamin.
Hey, so like I said before, Jeff already mentioned where you can find us online, but the best way to find any of us on any of these shows is get off your ass, come down to one of the cons, support us at the cons, enjoy the time. I mean, interacting with us live is so much better than behind the scene, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah,
So-
I'm a lot of fun at a con. You just
We-
wait and see. You gotta come see us.
We all are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
We all, even Leo, the eye candy in the
not
corner.
at all. Not at all. I'm a sack of potatoes.
Nope. He's lying to you. Trust me.
Leo can cut a rug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can get Leo dancing.
Yeah.
I'll give him a cookie.
No, he don't do
Better
cookies.
Take some video and send that to me. if
Couple
he's
of
dancing.
drinks.
Yeah.
Hey.
Actually, it was a stressful week last week, so I splurged and I got some Maker's Mark, and that's it hits you hard. It hits you hard.
It hits you. It
I'm
hits
just
you.
drinking Jack Daniels through this whole thing, so let me tell you.
So, Leo, where can they find you?
Well, most importantly, check out the awesome people here. Links down below or up above. And, like Ben said, find them at a con. Nicest guys you'll ever meet. That's, why we're working with them. We absolutely love you guys. And, Loren, it was awesome meeting you at the last con. And, definitely, follow these awesome people. But also check out The Dorkening. You can head on over to thedorkening.com, which you can find all the shows on the network. Actually, almost all the shows. We added several in the last couple weeks that we need to add to the website. And The Token Dead, we're going to be ripping these shows, putting them up on audio format once we get a couple episodes in. But everything's on thedorkening.com or where you listen to your podcast. You can find all the shows there. And,
yeah, we come back this weekend from our season break. That Strange Show, first episode.
Sweet. And
season 4 and Hardcore Nursing Home, which is another show I produce on the network. It's coming back.
And this
I gotta talk. I gotta be on your show now.
Hey, come on down.
Angel, your show has a theme this season, right? I was hearing that.
Oh yeah, season of sleaze.
Sleaze.
Yeah, sleaze. We're gonna be covering all the B horror movies, some independent stuff, gory, tits and ass kind of things.
Nice. Your type of shit, Jeff.
Oh yeah, right up my alley.
Right up your alley.
Yeah.
We're opening up with Bloodhook.
Okay.
So.
Nice.
Lisa wants to know, when do you guys come to New Hampshire, Ben?
Oh, I don't know. I think the closest we're going to be to New Hampshire is actually when we do YC3 up in Wells, Maine this year. Anyways, I don't think we have anything in New Hampshire, do we?
No.
Not yet. Anyways. Not yet. Anyways.
Tell Lisa to tell shows in New Hampshire to hire you guys. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
There is a New Hampshire. There's a New Hampshire con that the Dark Discussion guys go to. I'll get the name of it and send it to you.
All right. Yeah.
Network.
That's
Networking.
right. Networking.
Oh.
That's right. That's right.
Carpooling? Did I hear carpooling with Loren to these fun con? No.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Party limo.
So before Leo takes us out of here, I just want to say, like I always do, to our veterans and first responders, thank you. Because if you don't do what you guys do, we can't do what we want to do. Thank you.
Yes. Awesome.
Agreed.
Well said. Well said. And who is SJE? Who is she? Michelle said, who is she? When do you guys? Okay. No idea what that's in reference to, but I want to thank you all for watching. We'll finish this up. We'll catch you guys later. And actually, you're coming back in week after next, right?
Yep.
You have some.
Yep.
Okay.
2 weeks. Every other week.
Every other week. Awesome.
Every other-
We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
All right.
Peace.
Of lies will buy you a mild acceptance. My free mind will keep me from under your spell. And when we die, you'll be another angel in heaven, but me, I'll be a fucking legend in her.